Alright, sorry about that. I got confused. So we did the unboxing. Didn't quite get everything where we wanted, but again, up and down a little bit here. The big win, Fantastic Four 48, obviously. That jumped up a lot, a full grade from where I thought. Fantastic Four 67 and Captain America 100. And everything else was either in line or just below or a little bit above. So I'm okay with everything. Now there's a group of Silver Age books I'm going to send into another press. Um, Coming out to the road after I send in those moderns I talked about earlier that are on my last video. First one I'm going to send in is Thor 165, which is the second appearance of him. Again, it's semi-key. These are all going to be what I would call semi-keys, not as big keys as the last time, and definitely not as the other keys behind me over here. I have always fear of sending in my grails. But anyway, here you can see this is a I'm expecting about a 7, maybe a 6.5, 7 on this. Hopefully we'll get a good grade. Next two, I haven't decided which 10 I'm sending because I only send in 10 Silver Age at a time, 15 moderns, just for cost purposes. These two, I'm just deciding whether or not to send them in at all. These are obviously the other part to Fantastic Four 48. This is 49 and 50. 50's in better shape. Both look great. Both look really well. However, I'm going to say this is about a 6 maybe a 5, 6, considering what I got on some of the last ones. Maybe this will be about a 5, 5.5, maybe a 6. This one looks better. It's not. There's a big mark up here on the top that will definitely lower it down. I'm saying it's a 4 if that. So I'm debating whether or not to send it in at all or maybe just upgrade and then sell them and then upgrade to a better one. I've had these for a while, but there's no sentimental value of it. That one. Next one, keeping along the lines of the Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer number 3, first appearance of Mephisto, one of my favorite bad guys, who was huge in the Infinity run, the Infinity Gauntlet run, and the Thanos run, Thanos Quest. This is, again, I think this is going to fall in between the 6.5 to 7.5 range. It could go higher. I'm not sure. It all depends on the way they grade. These thicker books are harder to get good grades on. They're bigger books. There's a lot more spine damage. And I've read these, so this was books I bought way back when. The next book I'm thinking about sending in is A Journey into Mystery number 95, which is again a Thor cover. Thor versus Thor. Thor is my favorite Marvel character. I've always been a big fan. I have my Journey 83. I'm not sending it in to be graded. It is no better than a 2, but I'm happy with it because it's mine, and it's been mine for a while. This one has a few marks on the top, very little a few marks anywhere else. This is a good one. I'm hopefully at least a 7.5, maybe an 8 on this. This is an old book. It's Journey and Mystery, but it's a great Thor versus Thor cover. And I love the spinning hammer. I just love the way the Mjolnir looks in this book. There's actually 3 Mjolnirs in this one. It's pretty funny. Next one I'm planning sending in is these are probably going to send in for sure. Even though I got it restored on the 4, I also have a number 2, Avengers number 2. I have an Avengers 1 over here. I'm not sending in anytime soon, but maybe I'll send that in someday, but not right now. It's like the big keys I'm always afraid to send in. They get damaged in the mail. Insurance might cover it, but it'll break your heart. But this is a number 2. There's a big price differential between the two. And these will be more of the value run anyway, not the standard. This one looks really great cover. Beautiful cover. There is damage to the back of it. I don't think it's going to get higher than a 3.5 to a 4 range. First appearance of the Phantom, who isn't really significant in the Marvel universe, but I do like it. It's still a golden Iron Man over there. Some great Avengers. It's the second Avengers ever, so I'm a big fan of it. Also sending in would be Avengers number 3. This will be a little bit better grade. I'm hoping for at least about maybe a mid-grade on this one, 4.5, 5 range, maybe even better. There is some marks here, again, on the back. Still a great cover, looks really good. I always wanted to grade all the Avengers 1 through 5 or so. So maybe I'll grade a few other Avenger keys. and I'll go over that. But this one has a lot of nicks on the spine. It's about a 5. Hopefully I'll get a 5 on it. These will be pressed for sure and cleaned. Here is an Avengers number 8. First appearance of Kang the Conqueror. Just went out of order because there's another book coming. I do think Kang is going to show up eventually. He's a powerful. He's also Rama Tut in Fantastic Four 19, which I have, but I'm not planning on sending in. This is a key, in my opinion, is pretty good copy. Definitely needs a press, needs to be cleaned. Hopefully one of my prep pressers can take care of that for me. The next one is Avengers number 5. This would be to complete the run. Again, these would be the value runs, so they run about $22 to $27, depends on your discount to get it graded. Pressing is anywhere between $10 to $20, so it kind of is worth it. And to do 10 books, shipping is, it all depends on how you want to ship, so it might be worth it. Again, this is Avengers 5, Lava Man, all the names are on the side. I do like that. A lot of busyness going on, not one of my favorite covers, but it still is the first 5 Avengers. Early single-digit Avengers are always really cool. Next ones are a little different. Haven't decided on which ones I'm sending in. This one I think I'm going to send in. This is a really good copy of a DC book that I do like two heroes on a cover battling or doing something. DC doesn't have that as much as Marvel does, but this is a great Flash versus Superman, which recently I think was decided that Flash is faster. But this is the third race, the race to save the universe, and a little known as a little Batman in the background over there. I think it's a cool cover. It's just one of those great. This is World's Finest 198, by the way. It's the third race they've done. I do love this cover more than I like the other ones. It's just something about this cover I just always wanted to get it graded. I just thought it was really shined. Good color. And that should be a good grade. I'm hopefully a 7.5 or 8 on that. Next book heated up recently. And I have every Captain Marvel during this time frame, especially anything with Thanos, as I have every appearance of Thanos up till the mid-80s, if not late 80s, actually early 90s. He was my favorite bad guy during that whole Silver Surfer run when he came back in 34. Last time I showed you my 44 that I read that I was shocked I got a 9.6 on because that was in my hand a lot. But this is the first appearance of Thanos on a cover. And somebody just told me that this is really going high in value, and if I want to get this graded at the discounted level, might as well get it graded now. It might be an idea. It could use a press. I don't know what they're going to press out. There is probably a few my thumb marks on it as I read these. They weren't worth as much when I got them, but now they're heating up. Well, they heated up, but let's see if they'll continue. It's a great cover. It's Captain Marvel. This one, actually, Reggie at IFB Pro, the bodybuilder who does comics as well. He's absolutely great guy. Great YouTube video. I love watching his videos. He actually recommended this book, and I had it, and I was like, hey, I think I have that in my collection. In good condition, too. And I do. It is The Sands of Time. It's the first appearance of the Living Tribunal, or second. I think there he appears or cameos in 157, a Jim Steranko cover, which is one of my favorites. I'm going to show you a great Jim Steranko cover. Well, eventually, one day, I'll do my magazine run of some Eries and stuff. This is one that I probably debating on sending in. It doesn't have a lot of value yet. This is like a spec book, but since I'm not sending these in for at least a month to 2 months, maybe even longer, I don't know, I haven't decided yet when I'm sending in my Silver Age, because I have the moderns I got to do, then I've got some cons I got to go to. But again, this is one I'm going to sit there, and if I find a few other Silver Ages, this might get pushed back a little bit. Other honorable mentions of a few was another somebody brought up was the first appearance of Eternity. Strange Tales number 138. By the way, this was Strange Tales. This was Strange Tales 158. 138. The first appearance of Eternity. That's Infinity's brother in the comics. Another one to complete the run I could do would be my Silver Surfer number 2. First appearance of the Badoon, but really hasn't caught on. as the Super Skrull that he could be. As I said, I like hero cover books, so there's two other hero cover books that I really like. One is, let me put these away so I don't stack them the wrong way. Silver Surfer number 14, which is Spider-Man. Of course, I love a good Spider-Man. Spider-Man versus the Silver Surfer. It's actually a pretty cool cover in its own right. This is a good condition, at least a 7, maybe even higher. It's a really nice book. I might not send it. It doesn't have much value, but I might just keep it as is. Another one really doesn't have much value, but it's a great cover as well, is a Thor versus another hero cover. This is Thor versus the Submariner Namor, and I just love the way these two guys look. Most of what I prefer to collect as far as covers go is Thor versus somebody else that's a hero or a villain if it's a good villain. You know, I've got, you know, you've got the two Journey into Mysteries versus the Destroyer. You've got another one versus Magneto. But that's what I plan on sending in. My next video will probably be what I'm taking to a con, or maybe my moderns will be back from pressing and grading. By then, I doubt it. It's con season, so it does take a little while longer. But I'm a big fan of some of the books I got. To recap, very happy with Captain America there. And of course, the big one, the big win, I would say, would be an 8.0 first appearance of the Silver Surfer. And I'll leave that image for the end. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night.